We all have that one deck we love to play, but sometimes it just can't keep up anymore. In this series, we break down what's working, what's holding the deck back, and where smart upgrades can make the biggest difference. We're focusing on consistency, power, and matchups in the current meta. No rebuilding from scratch, just clean, efficient improvements. Let's tune this deck and see how far it can really go. Welcome to Deck Tuning.
What's up, guys? My name is Techno Tuner, and today I wanted to bring to you for our deck tuning video is two decks that were recently released in Blazing Dominion. This is something that I feel like everybody could get behind or have fun with, but I wanted to at least bring it to you guys today to show you a little bit on what you could do with these decks and have fun with. First up, we're going to be taking a look at GMX, and for our next deck, we're going to be taking a look at Power Patron. So please do pay attention to these, because these decks are a lot of fun. They're pretty inexpensive for what they currently are, and they offer up a lot of good capability, while you can play them in either I should say, Genesis for GMX and Power Patron for competitive. You have those capabilities of further seeing these decks in live play today. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into it, and I'll show you what we're working with. So, of course, starting off, we're going to start off with our Genesis list for GMX. We're going to be starting off, of course, with the generic Dino package, which is one Animadorn Archosaur. If this card is normal or special summon, you can destroy one dinosaur monster in your hand or face up field except Animadorn Archosaur, then add one reptile, sea serpent, or winged beast monster with the same original level as that destroyed monster, or one evolution pill spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Animadorn Archosaur once per turn, followed up by two Baby Ceratosaurus. If this card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon level 4 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck. And of course, we're playing a 3 Dogger on the Mad Flame Kaiju because we do need something to get over our towers that our opponents may have. You can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field and attack position by attributing one monster they control. If your opponent controls a Kaiju monster, then you can special summon this card from your hand in attack position. You can only control one Kaiju monster. Once per turn, you can remove 3 Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. This card cannot attack the turn this card is activated. So, do note that if you're able to, some reason, get the counters on board, Dogron can board nuke. Giant Rex, of course, is what we're going to be playing when we summon it off of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, UCT. Cannot attack directly. If this card is banished, you can special summon this card, and if you do, this card gains 200 attack for each of your banished dinosaur monsters. You can only use this effect of Giant Rex once per turn. And then into our GMX stuff, we're playing one GMX Associate Noma. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, you can target one card each from your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard. Place each card on either the top or bottom of the deck. If a monster is normal or special summoned to your opponent's field while this card is in your monster zone, except during the damage step, you can fusion summon one GMX fusion monster from your extra deck by shuffling its materials from your field, graveyard, and or banishment into the deck. You can only use each effect of GMX Associate Noma once per turn. Very helpful nonetheless for graveyard shenanigans. But then we're playing 3 GMX Chairman Kimbridge. You can reveal this card in your hand, add one GMX Applied Experiment number 55 from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and if you do, shuffle this card into the deck. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, you can target 2 cards in your graveyard that are GMX cards and or dinosaur monsters, place them on top of your deck in any order, then you can destroy one attack position monster your opponent controls. You can only use the effect of GMX Chairman Kimbridge once per turn. Then, of course, we're playing 3 of the new Ultra GMX partners, Saladnia. We'll just call it Saladnia. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon one GMX monster or one dinosaur monster from your hand. Also, you can only attack directly with GMX monsters for the rest of this turn. This card is special summoned by a monster effect. You can special summon level 4 or lower GMX or dinosaur monster from your hand, graveyard, or banishment in defense position. You can only use each effect of GMX partner Saladnia once per turn. So being able to reveal it, special summon a monster, trigger off that special summon monster's effects can really help get your combo going, because a lot of these require it to be summoned off of monster effects, which can be very helpful. Speaking of which, we're playing 3 GMX Researcher Saladne. If this card is a normal summon, or you can special summon one non-warrior GMX monster or one level 3 or lower dinosaur monster from your deck. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, you can add one GMX spell or trap from your deck to your hand. If a Dinosaur Fusion monster is on the field, you can shuffle this card in from the field into the deck, and if you do, negate the effects of one face-up card in the field until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of GMX Researcher Saladnia once per turn. So giving additional effect negation can help out as well. But then we're also playing one GMX Suppression Squad. If this card is in your hand, you control a GMX monster or a dinosaur monster. You can special summon this card. You can target one face-up monster on the field, excavate the top cards of your deck until you excavate a dinosaur monster. Send that dinosaur monster to the graveyard. And if you do, the targeted monster becomes a dinosaur monster until the end of this turn. Also, shuffle the rest into the deck. You can only use each effect of GMX Suppression Squad once per turn. So being able to turn something into a dinosaur monster that you can fuse off with can be really beneficial. And then, of course, we're playing the 2 Return Dino Denin. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect, you can add one GMX monster from your deck to your hand during your main phase. You can fusion summon dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all dinosaur monsters you currently control gain 400 attack. You can only use each effect to return Dino Denin once per turn. So being able to give you that extra fusion capability, but also the opportunity to basically get a GMX card from your deck to your hand can also start up some other combos. We're supplementing this again by the other generic dino stuff, which is 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor. If it's normal or special summon, take one dinosaur monster from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can target a level 4 or lower dinosaur monster on the field, destroy it, then special summon dinosaur monster from your graveyard in defense position. You can only use each effect of Soul Eating Oviraptor once per turn. We're playing one Transcendosaurus Meteorus. Cannot be normal summoner. Set must be special summoned by card effect during your opponent's turn. Quick effect, you can destroy 2 other dinosaur monsters in your hand or field. And if you do, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can send one dinosaur monster from your deck to the graveyard. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle one normal monster. Sorry about that, hit my mic. Shuffle one normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, and then you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect of Transcendosaurus Meteorus once per turn. We're supplementing this with the Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Cannot be normal summoner set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 dinosaur monsters or off the double evolution pill. Once per turn during the main phase, quick effect, you can destroy one monster in your hand or face up field. And if you do, change all face up monsters opponent controls to face down defense position. You can inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent, and if you do, send that defense position monster when this card attacks a defense position monster. So, Xenometeorus, we're running him at 2. Because if a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, you can destroy one dinosaur monster in your hand or field, then special summon one normal dinosaur monster from your hand or deck. Also, you cannot special summon from monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except for dragon, dinosaur, sea serpent, or worm monsters. You can only use each effect of Xenometeorus once per turn. Supplementing in the Frostosaurus, giving us the other capability of going into our level 12 or rank 6, or our fusion monsters can help us out greatly here as well. Do note that we are playing the one double evolution pill because we do have a lot of dinos and non-dinos to work with here to be able to get out our ultimate conductor Tyranno and give us the capability of getting that back on the board. Fossil Dig, running him at 2, since we can add a level 6 or lower dinosaur monster from our deck to our hand. Then, of course, for the new ones, we're playing 2 GMX 55th Experiment Report. Fusion summon one dinosaur fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field. If your opponent controls a monster, you can also use one GMX monster from your deck as material. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Excavate the top cards of your deck until you excavate a GMX card. Add that GMX card to your hand. Also shuffle the rest into the deck. You can only use one GMX 55th Experiment Report effect per turn, and only once that turn. Then we're using one GMX Applied Experiment 55. Excavate the top cards of your deck until you excavate a GMX monster and a dinosaur monster. Lose 400 life points for each excavated card. Then you can fusion summon one GMX fusion monster from your extra deck using any excavated monsters as material. Also shuffle the rest back into the deck. You can only activate one GMX Applied Experiment number 55 per turn. So that helps you get your fusions out, but also you do take a little bit of life point damage. Then, of course, we're playing the 3 GMX Lab. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when you normal summon or special summon a GMX monster or monsters during your main phase. You can set one GMX spell or trap from your deck, except GMX Lab number 5. Then place one card from your hand on the top of the deck. You can only use this effect of GMX Lab number 5 once per turn. Followed up by 3 Ground Xeno. Add 1 Dinosaur Tuner or Dinosaur Normal monster from your deck to your hand, then destroy 1 card in your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion someone Dinosaur Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from hand or field as material, giving you the additional fusion capability there. Then, of course, we're playing the 1 Polymerization and the 1 Anti-GMX Final Experiment. Activate only if you control a GMX monster once per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, except during the damage step, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. Then if you excavate a GMX card or cards, negate the activate effect. Also place all the excavated cards on the top or bottom of the deck in any order, giving you further capability to stack your deck or put cards you want that you need in any way, shape, or form on top or bottom of the deck, but also getting a monster negation can help as well. That's all that we got for the main deck. Let's hop into our extra deck. We're playing 2 Evolved Danine. Return Dino Danine plus 1 dinosaur monster. If this card is special summon, you can add 1 GMX card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Evolved Danine once per turn. If you excavated a card by a GMX card effect, you can activate the following effect based on where this card is at activation. But you can only use each effect of Evolved Danine once per turn. Field, gain 15 life points. Graveyard, special summon this card. 2 GMX Alos, 1 GMX monster plus 1 dinosaur monster. Each time your opponent normals or special summons a monster, gain 200 life points. You can only use each of the following effects of GMX Alos once per turn. You can target 1 GMX monster or 1 dinosaur monster in your graveyard, or banishment and special summon it. This card cannot attack the turn this effect is activated. At the start of the damage step, if this monster, or if this card battles an opponent's monster, you destroy that monster. So giving you an additional pop can help out greatly, but also gaining some life points really helps with this deck. Then, of course, we're playing 2 GMX Comprex. 1 GMX monster plus 2 or more dinosaur monsters gains these effects based on the number of dinosaur monsters used as fusion material for this card. 3+, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. 4+, can make up to 3 attacks during each battle phase. 5+, each time your opponent normals or special summons a monster or monsters, they lose 800 life points once per turn. If you excavate a card by a GMX card effect, you can destroy all other monsters on the field. So basically making it a triggerable board wipe for monsters. Make it to where your opponent loses life points, can make 3 attacks, or your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. So making it more of a pseudo towers, but giving you the capability to OTK a lot easier with this deck. Followed up by 2 GMX Velox, 1 GMX monster plus 1 dinosaur monster. Each time your opponent normals or special summons a monster, gain 200 life points. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, excavate the top cards of your deck until you excavate a GMX monster or a dinosaur monster, lose 400 life points for each GMX card, then add that GMX or dinosaur monster from that excavation to your hand or special summon it, and shuffle the rest into the deck. Also, after that, destroy the targeted card. You can only use this effect of GMX Velox once per turn. Once again, more searching, summoning capabilities. You have a lot of access there. Then we have the 1 Transcendosaurus Giga Tozauler. 1 dinosaur monster plus 1 normal monster. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 dinosaur monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand, and if this card was special summoned from the graveyard, you can destroy 2 cards, 1 from your hand or field, and 1 your opponent controls. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, then you can special summon this card. You only use each effect of Transcendosaurus Gigantauzular, I cannot say his last name, part of his name, once per turn. Followed up by Transcendosaurus Glaciosaurus. 1 tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Dinosaur monsters you control that were special summoned from the graveyard cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. If this card is destroyed, you can shuffle 1 normal monster from your graveyard into the deck. Then you can special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Transcendosaurus Glaciosaurus once per turn. So basically, we're getting some good, beefy monsters on the board that can get some good recursion, but also rotate or revolve around the Frostosaurus that we have, so we have a consistent way to get a dinosaur into deck for fusion summoning. Then, of course, we're playing the 1 Volzar Dolka. It's 2 level 4 dinos. Each time, when another monster effect is activated, you can detach 1 material from this card and negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. Volzar Logia are Omni-Negate, 2 level 4 dinosaur monsters. When a monster would be normal or special summon, or a spell or trap card is activated, quick effect, attach 2 materials from this card and negate the summon or activation. If you do, destroy it. And then we have the one Volzar Solda, 2 level 6 monsters, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while it has a material. When your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, except during damage step, you can attach one material from this card to destroy that monster or monsters. Then we have one Steam Sabersaurus, 2 level 4 monsters. You can attach one material from this card, destroy one dinosaur monster in your hand or face up field. Then you can change the battle position of one monster on the field. At the start of the damage step, if your other dinosaur monster battles, you can destroy this card, and if you do, that dinosaur monster gains 2,000 attack until the end of the battle phase. You can only use each effect of Steam Sabersaurus once per turn. So giving an attack boost, but also giving a pop can really help as well. Transcendosaurus Drillgnathus. While this card has no materials, if it battles a monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. You can only use each of the following effects of Transcendosaurus Drillgnathus once per turn. You can detach one material from this card, target one of your banished dinosaur monsters, special summon it. This card is destroyed. You can shuffle one normal monster from your graveyard into the deck, then you can special summon this card. So once again, giving you the capability of recycling back the Frostosaurus, but also giving you an additional level 6 to work with. So with this deck, you do have a lot of good capability of further breaking boards, but also setting up a lot of chances for an OTK. You do have to be careful because you can put yourself at lower life points given the amount of times you're excavating cards and depending on how you're excavating those cards. But the GMX fusions give you the capability of gaining those life points back dependent on your opponent's summoning monsters. So you do have to pay attention to your life points here, but you also do have full board capability of going into a lot of these fusions, synchros, exceeds, and other monsters to break your opponent's board down and make it a lot easier for your opponent to not be able to really interact with your dinosaurs. Do note we are not playing the miscellaneous Ceratosaurus, and we haven't been playing any other hand traps. You can incorporate those if you would like, but I am more trying to play more to a pure GMX deck as I can, while incorporating those key aspects that dinosaur decks really do have to further make this deck pop, but also work pretty well. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this first deck profile. Let's hop right into our second one with Power Patron. So, hop right into our Power Patron deck. Of course, you're going to see a lot of hand traps because this deck really can't be played in Genesis because it is a pendulum archetype. While this deck has a lot of good capabilities, it does make room for a lot of hand traps. Let's go ahead and hop right into this, and I'll explain a little bit more. Of course, you see our normal hand traps ratio here, which is 3 Ash, 3 Molcharmy, 2 Droll. Feel free to swap them out or fit however best fits your playstyle, giving you further capabilities to really work against your own meta. Next, we're playing 2 Medius the Pure. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add to your hand or special summon 1 Power Patron monster from your deck. If this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle 1 monster from your hand or face-up field into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Medius the Pure once per turn. Followed up by Junoldo the Shade Spirit Power Patron. Do note, I will be reading a lot in this because each Pendulum monster has 2 effects. Its Pendulum effect and its Monster effect. The Pendulum effect. If a Power Patron or Elf Note monster is special summoned to your field while this card is in your Pendulum zone, except during damage step, you can destroy this card, and if you do, draw 2, then discard 1. You can only use this effect once per turn. Monster effect. This card is always treated as an Elf Note card. You can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down. Destroy this card, and if you do, special summon Genora, the Power Patron of Tuning, from your extra deck. This is treated as a Synchro Summon. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add 1 Power Patron or Elf Note card from your face up extra deck or graveyard to your hand, except Ginaldo, the Shade Spirit Power Patron. You can only use each effect of Ginaldo, the Shade Spirit Power Patron, once per turn. So being able to tutor out your big Genora, Power Patron of Tuning, can help out greatly, but also, since it works well in Elf Note and Power Patron by giving you a draw 2 and discard 1, that can help fix some hands. Next, we have 3 Jurapedo, the Shade Machine Power Patron. During the main phase, you can destroy this card and 1 Power Patron or Doomsday monster in your hand or face-up field. Then you can destroy 1 card on the field. You can only use this effect of Jurapedo, the Shade Machine Power Patron, once per turn. This card is always treated as a Doomsday card. You can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon 1 Jupiter Power Patron Destruction from your extra deck. This is treated as an Exceed summon. Then you can attach 1 card from your hand to it. If this card is added to your extra deck, face up, you can add 1 Power Patron or Doomsday Spell Trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Jupredo, the Shade Machine Power Patron, once per turn. So basically being able to tutor out your Power Patrons and your big boss monster of Jupiter can help out as well. Next, we're going to follow it up with 3. Nervetto, the Shade Beast Power Patron. You can negate any monster effect activated by your opponent in response to the activation of a Power Patron or Archmage monster, then destroy this card. You can only use this effect of Nervetto, the Shade Beast Power Patron, once per turn. This card is always treated as a Archmage card. You can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, from your extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can special summon Power Patron or Archmage monster from your deck or face up extra deck, except Nerveta, the Shade Beast Power Patron. You can only use each effect of Nerveta, the Shade Beast Power Patron, once per turn. So giving you the capability of getting out the Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, which can make it really cool and really hard for your opponent to really interact with, because while a card is in a field zone, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Once per turn, when you activate an Archmage monster effect, quick effect, you can make the... Once per turn, when you activate an Archmage monster effect, quick effect, you can make the activate effect become destroy all cards your opponent controls. So you can go about breaking boards a lot easier that way. And then finally, for the last Power Patron Pendulum monster, we have 3 Vidolium, the Unstable Power Patron of Unity. Pendulum effect, you can activate one of these effects, destroy this card, and if you do, special summon Power Patron monster from your hand or graveyard. Destroy this card. Also, for the rest of this turn, Power Patron monsters you control, whose original level is 12, gain 5,000 attack. You can only use this effect of Vidolium, the Unstable Power Patron of Unity, once per turn. Monster effect cannot be normal summon or set, must be special summon from your extra deck by returning 3 monsters, 1 fusion, 1 synchro, and Xyz from your face-up field and or graveyard to the extra deck. Unaffected by monster effects, except Power Patron monsters. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can add 1 Power Patron card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect of Vidolium, the Unstable Power Patron of Unity, once per turn. If this card is special summoned, banish face down all cards in the graveyard. So this can really hurt your opponent a lot if they are not paying attention, but you do have a good chance of making all of your Power Patrons 5k beaters, but also getting out a capability of really hindering your opponent by banishing all cards in the graveyard. Following up, we're playing 1 Archmage Vandalism Assault. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Medius the Pure from your deck to your hand. You can target 1 face-up monster you control. If that face-up monster would be used as fusion material this turn, it could be treated as a Archmage monster. You can only use this effect of Archmage Vandalism Assault once per turn. If a Archmage Academic Arcane Arts Acropolis you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can send this card you control to the graveyard instead. You can only activate 1 Archmage Vandalism Assault per turn. Perfectly fine. This is just a good way to tutor out our Medius the Pure to get stuff rolling. Then, of course, we're playing the 1 Called By, the 1 Crossout Designator, and 2 Pendulum Treasure. Add 1 Pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck face up. You can only activate 1 Pendulum Treasure per turn. Next, we're playing 1 Plundered Power Patron Plain Vidolia. You can reveal 1 Power Patron monster in your extra deck, banish face down 1 card from your hand, and then add to your hand or special summon 1 monster from your deck that mentions the revealed monster's name, except in its once per turn restrictions clause. You can only use this effect of Plundered Power Patron Vidolia once per turn. Monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each banished card. Your opponent cannot activate the effects of cards in the graveyard while you control Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction, and Genora, the Power Patron of Tuning. Specifically, you have to control all 3 to get that effect. Not just 1, 3. Because if it said or, then it would be one of those. But since it's all 3 of them, that is going to make it harder for most people to do if they're not paying attention. Next up, we're playing 3 Prohibited Power Patron Portal Terminus. Send 1 Power Patron monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard. Then you can add 1 Dark Fairy monster from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn except with the Power Patron monsters at the start of the damage step. If your Power Patron monster battles an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your graveyard, banish face down that opponent's monster. You can only use each effective Prohibited Power Patron Portal Terminus once per turn. Do note we do have Shade, the power, Shade, the Obscure, which can be also utilized here as well. You cannot Pendulum summon monster, or you cannot Pendulum except Pendulum monsters. This effect cannot be negated. If a monster with 1,000 or less attack is special summoned except during the damage step, you return this card to your hand. You can only use this effect to shade the obscure once per turn. If you have a card in your Pendulum Zone and this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can pay 1,000 life points, destroy one Pendulum monster card in your hand or face-up field. Then you can add one Pendulum monster from your deck to your face-up extra deck. You can only use each effect to shade the obscure once per turn. I would recommend picking up 3 of these because this is going to make the deck go the extra mile and push it over the edge. This is what's going to really make or break the deck and also add a lot of additional interaction for your opponent to have to deal with. Continuing on with the spells, we have 3 Fallen in the Virtuous. Activate one of these effects. Send one monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz from your extra deck or to the graveyard. Then target one face-up card in the field. Destroy it. If you have an Ecclesia monster in your field or graveyard, target one monster in either graveyard. Special summon it to your field. You can only activate 1 Fallen in the Virtuous per turn. That's perfectly fine. We're basically utilizing this as a way to send Albion to set another, so we have interactable popping for our opponent's stuff. Next, we have Triple Tactics Talent, of course, and then 2 Triple Tactics Thrust. This is basically so we can search the talent or one of the Grizel prisms. For the traps, we're playing one Archmage Impasto Recapture. If you control an Archmage monster, you can activate this card the turn it was set. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish one fusion monster you control until the end phase. If you do, negate the activation, and if you do, just destroy that monster. If you have 3 or more different monster types on your field, you can return all spells and traps your opponent controls to the hand. You can only activate 1 Archmage Impasto Recapture per turn. So basically making it harder for your opponent to really interact because it negates the summon, but also bounces all their spells and traps, which can hurt them further. I'm also playing 3 Infinite Impermanence, but I'm also going to state this as well. I am playing 3 Grizel Prison in this build because if you control a face-up monster that was Tribute, Ritual, or Fusion Summon until the end of your opponent's next turn, either player can Synchro or Xyz summons Synchro and Xyz monsters, and they cannot attack. Also, their effects are negated. So this can shut down Doom Z, and it can shut down your Cool Tune matchups pretty easily if you're able to get to it. So that will make the deck a lot more consistent, a lot more fun to play. Now, do note this is like a $2 to $5 card right now. If it does go up, just pay attention to that. This will be basically a floodgate to stop other decks from playing for right now. Now, moving into the actual extra deck, we have 2 Albion, the Branded Dragon. This is basically our target to send off Fallen the Virtuous. The only effect we really care about for Albion, the Branded Dragon, is during the end phase that this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn. You can add to your hand or set 1 Branded Spell or Trap from your deck. So this gives us a capability of being able to add the Fallen Virtuous or set the Fallen Virtuous for follow-up. We're playing 1 Archmage Non Finito. 2 Archmage monsters must be fusion summoned or special summoned from your extra deck by discarding 1 spell and trap and tributing 1 level 7 or higher Archmage monster from your hand or field. You can only special summon Archmage Non Finito once per turn this way. If this card is special summoned, you can set 1 Archmage spell or trap from your deck. Once per turn, quick effect, you can fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control, giving you the capability of going into Nerva another way, but also giving you capability of doing other plays as well. Then, of course, we're playing the 1 Ecclesia, the Dark Dragon. If we send it off the Fallen and Virtuous, we have the capability of you can banish this card until the end phase. If you do, we're not doing that. This card's in your graveyard. You can target 1 level 8 fusion monster in your graveyard or banishment and target 1 card on the field. Shuffle both those cards and this card into the deck. You can only use each effect of Ecclesia, Dark Dragon once per turn. Do note, if you don't have this, I would recommend playing something else. You could probably play a 3rd Albion or something else along those lines. Don't really have to worry about using this because I do know this is a $40 card. Just throwing that out there. We're playing the 1 Genora, the Power Patron of Tuning. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent controls. Quick effect, you can activate this effect. Monsters your opponent controls in the same column as Elf Note monsters you control cannot be used as material for a fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link summon until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of Genora, Power Patron of Tuning once per turn, giving you further lockout on your opponent's side. Then we have 1 Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction. 3 level 10 monsters once per turn. You can also Xyz summon Jupiter, the Power Patron of Destruction by using 1 monster you control equipped with 3 or more equip cards. If this card is Xyz summon, you can equip any number of equip spells from your graveyard to this card that can equip to it, gains 3,000 attack, while it has an Xyz monster as material. Once per turn, you can attach 1 material from this card, special summon 1 Doom Z monster from your graveyard, then destroy 1 card on the field, further breaking your opponent's board. We're running the 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max for additional burn damage, but we're also utilizing it for material for Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket, the new card from Blazing Dominion. Once per turn, you can also Xyz summon Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket by discarding 1 card and using 1 Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max you control. Transfer its materials when your opponent activates a monster effect while this card has a material. Quick effect, you can negate that effect, and if you do destroy that card, then inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. You can only use this effect of Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Rocket once per turn. Once per turn during your end phase, attach 1 material from this card or destroy this card. Basically, we're utilizing it as another negation. The other card that we're running is 1 Varudras, the Final Bringer of the End Times, 2+ or more level 10 monsters. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card, negate the activation. Then you can detach 1 material from this card, destroy 1 card on the field. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacks while it has material, you can destroy 1 card on the field. If the Xyz summon card was destroyed, you can destroy 1 card on the field. So basically, it's just a lot of interactable pops. We're playing 1 Armalile, the Star Leader Dragon. 2 effect monsters cannot be used as link material. You can target 1 face-up monster this card points to, special summon monster with the same original level from your hand to your zone this card points to in defense position but negates effects. So basically, turning any of your level 10 power patrons into another capable monster to be summoned to that arrow. So you can go into your rank 10 plays as fast as possible. We have 2 Beyond the Pendulum, or excuse me, 1 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 Exceed the Pendulum. This is just basically our ways to get into our extra deck monsters, but also allow us to add 1 Pendulum monster from our deck to our hand, but it does require that we do Pendulum Summon. If 2 monsters with different original levels are Pendulum Summon at the same time, to zones this card points to, you can target 2 cards on the field, destroy them. Exceed the Pendulum, gains 100 attack for each Pendulum monster you control. You can only use each of the following effects of Exceed the Pendulum once per turn. If this card is link summoned, you can add 1 face-up Pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand during the main phase. You can special summon Pendulum monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position with the level between this pendulum scales of the 2 cards in your pendulum zones. So being able to recur some of the pendulum monsters you send to the graveyard can be very beneficial as well. Next, we're using the 1 Ramuh, Envoy of the Sacred Tome. Because a lot of these cards are dark, we do have a dark fairy that we can summon technically off of it. Once per turn, while this link summon card is on the face up on the field, you can normal summon level 5 or higher monster without attributing. During the main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves. Normal summon level 5 or higher dark monster. During your end phase, you can reveal any number of monsters in your hand and place them on the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw cards equal to the number placed. You can only use each effect of Ramuh, Envoy of the Sacred Tome once per turn. And then, of course, we have the 1 SP Little Knight. This is just for an interactable banish during our opponent's turn, also making it a lot harder for them to really interact with. While this deck is very powerful, there are a lot of ways to further improve it. You can also break it down, go into into its own separate decks, such as Elf Note, Doomsy, or Art Mage, to further increase the consistency and power of those decks as well. Each of these power patrons are really cool, and I love the design of them. Nonetheless, they are very cool, and I would recommend people checking this out, but also keeping an eye on it in the meta, as it's a up-and-coming deck to where you have to pay attention and you have to know how to really interact with these. Do note that Anti-Spell doesn't technically fully stop this deck, so it will be a fun deck to see, especially at the rogue levels. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.